Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsy69. Welcome back to the channel. So yesterday we took a look at the top played premium tanks in the game, but today we are going to look at the top 5 tanks. And coming in at number 5 with 15,538 is the Grille 15. Now, I'm not surprised that this is up there. It is in the top 5 tier 10, which I've done a couple of days ago. It's a nice tank. I'm not going to talk too much about the tank, as we have spoke about the tank quite a lot recently, especially in the previous top 5. It's a difficult tank to play. It is a difficult tank to play, and playing it how this guy is playing it right now is how I feel is the best playstyle of the tank. Sort of sat at the back, farming damage, and then just shooting off, using the speed of the tank to shoot off and relocate in. You could do it very quickly. It's a really quick tank, and that's what I love about the tank, is the speed. Now, I do feel Wargaming shouldn't have nerfed the tank the first time around. They nerfed the speed, they nerfed the traverse. They have buffed it recently. They've buffed it to they buffed the reload of the thing to give it more DPM, and it is coming with different equipment and etc. Whatever provisions, I think, in the coming update, which we will talk about in a later video. So the Grille, with over 15,000 people playing it in the last 90 days, is in the top 5 most played tanks in the game. Bearing in mind, this is for all tiers. This isn't just tier 10, this is across everything. Premium, non-premium, collectors, just tier 1, tier 2, everything. Coming in at number 4, again, I'm not surprised this is up there. It is very popular, and it is the T49. 15,840 people have been playing this tank, and they play it for a reason, and one reason alone, and that is the 152 on the tank. Now, I don't enjoy this tank. I'm not going to lie. I don't enjoy the tank. You have to get yourself in certain positions. I mean, just because it's got a 152, you can't just smash people and do sort of 500-600 damage. You need to get into those positions to do that. And fair enough, you can get into those positions because you are a light tank that goes over 60 kilometers an hour. But, you know, the majority of the time, especially when you're coming up against tier 9, you're just going to smash heavies in the face and do sort of 201 to 300 damage sort of thing. With your HE. I think it would be better if it had APCR instead of heat. Because of that, I mean, tanks can hide behind a fence, and you're not able to penetrate them because, of course, heat and HE doesn't go through the fence. So I think this tank would be much better if it did have either AP or APCR as the standard round. But you know what? It's still a fun tank to play. It's still a meme tank. So that's why it's popular. Next up, coming in at number 3, this was a shock to me, is the Emil I. 16,109 people have been playing this tank. Now, this tank is kind of OP. Was I shocked? Yes, I was shocked, because it hasn't been around that long, and I feel that people will grind, and I can understand the Kranwagen being up there in the top 5 in tier 10, because people like the tier 10. I mean, they grind new lines to get to the tier 10, but no, this one, people have seemed to just stay and play this tank. It is OP. It is very OP. I mean, who knew that you could HE? I didn't even know you could HE the side of a Vindicator like that. Before you know it, the Vindicator has gone. Just because this tank is overpowered doesn't mean you could roll up and expect to do well in the tank. You need to put yourself in those positions to do well. It has that amazing gun. It has the amazing turret armor. I mean, the turret armor is fantastic. You can just see, if you can get into these positions, if you can get into the hold down positions, then you will perform really well in the tank. Now, it did get nerfed. Do I think the nerf affected the tank that much? No, I don't. It's still a really good tank, and as you can see, people are still playing the tank. I mean, it's number 3. It's a fairly new tank in tier 8, and it's the third most played tank, which I absolutely love. Another tech tree tank that is the most played tank in the game. That's what we want to see. We don't want to see these overpowered premium tanks that people are just spamming and they are the most played tank in the game. I mean, this video is the top 5 most played tanks in the game, and I don't think any of them are actually premium, which is good. I love that. I absolutely love that. That tech tree tanks are more popular. Well, I think they're going to be, because obviously you have the free-to-play players that don't... you have a lot of free-to-play players that don't buy any premium tanks. Although we can say that it is an overpowered tank. It would be nice for a not-so-overpowered tank to be up there. But, you know, the grill is not overpowered, and that is up in the top 5 as well. So the Emil I, very good tank, very good battle there from Liam Norris, and that just goes to show how good of a tank this is. So coming in at number 2 is the Waffle. Obviously we've got the grill, and now we have the Waffle, which is by far better than the grill. Now 16,495 people have been playing this tank over the last 90 days. Now, what's different about the tank? I mean, I don't really know. It has the gun depression. It has the armor. Believe it or not, it has the armor. The front plate of this thing is very, very troll. Not as in you can't penetrate it. You can. It has no armor. But what I mean is like HE. Really, you can only HE the parts of this tank, and that's the turret. You can't really, there's only the small sections that you can, or with big guns, that you can penetrate the whole of the thing. Again, it's really quick. You can get yourself into position where you can reverse up a hill, use that amazing gun depression it's got, and then sort of just speed up instead of having to reverse. So again, it's the same playstyle as the grill, exactly the same kind of playstyle as the grill. Sit at the back, farm some damage, and then use the speed to get out and relocate, just like this guy has done here. He was at the back, he's used his mobility of the tank, and before you know it, he's in a different position, and he could take out that back chat very easily. Now, a lot of people, I didn't expect, to be honest, I didn't expect this tank to be up there in the top 5, especially the second, number 2. Very shocked to see it at number 2. But when I see the grill in there, I was like, okay, if the grill's in the top 5, then surely the Waffle has to be. Now, if you're grinding the Waffle to get the grill, like, take your time, like, because you will be disappointed. And there's some tanks like that in tier 9 and 10 that, like the E3, like the E4. E4 is a classic example. You've got the T30, and usually when you play the T30 and go up to the E4, you're disappointed because the T30 is much better than the E4. And this is the same situation with the Waffle. It is so much better. The accuracy, I don't think is as good as the grill. It does less DPM. But, I mean, take away that, it's still a fantastic tank. It still does really well out in battle. I love the tank. I'm enjoying it. It is my tier 9 go-to tank now for if I want to play a TD. It used to be the T30, but now it is this tank. It's my go-to tank just to have a bit of fun. Can we blind shot? Well, I thought he would go for the blind shot there. He does, but it's a bit too late. So this game here, we are watching, and I mean, we're not going to watch it all. It is a 7K game, and the perfect map for it. I mean, again, you have to have the perfect map. And a map like Dead Rail for a Waffle, grill, any big TD like that is absolutely perfect. So we move on to number 1, and I don't think this is a surprise. Seeing it's the most played tier 10 tank in the game, it is actually the most played tank for this reason. Now 16,937 players have been playing the Death Star over the last 90 days. For one reason only, and that is that gun. I enjoy playing it. It's not as fun. It is one of those tanks where you either do 0 or you either do 5k. You miss, if you miss your shot, it's the worst tank ever. But when you hit the shot like I did earlier on the Jaeger, it's like the best tank ever. It's one of those tanks. It's like a Marmite tank. You either love it or you hate it. At the moment, I'm still not sure It's about the gun. The only good thing about the tank now is the gun in the damage if you're able to pull it off. Now this top 5 is a bit different to my previous top 5. I have done a top 5 most played tanks before, and coming in at number 1 was the KV2. Now the KV2, since the nerf, since the smasher, it's just not the same tank, and no one is playing it. It is very unpopular now. So in the space of a year, the KV2 was the most played tank in the game, where now it doesn't make the top 5. I didn't look, I can't remember if it even makes the top 10. But that is it, guys, the top 5 most played tanks in the game. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm Meadsy, and I will catch you all very soon. Bye bye.
He's gone. Find us another target. With